Okay, so calculating time. Now I really don't want to offend anybody or upset anybody. I'm sure that you can all tell the time and you're very capable of calculating time, but there are a couple of things that I think I should point out because they're very basic errors that some people make. Okay, so the best thing to do is to actually do a couple of questions. So a man leaves his house at 1:25 and arrives at 4:20. So how long does his journey take? Okay, so he leaves his house at 1:25. Okay, so he leaves his house at 1:25. Not very good arrow, is it? And he arrives at 4:20. Now, when I do this, I do this as a child would do it because I find it's the safest way. So from 1:25 to 2 o'clock, so this clock, this hand has now got to go round to the 12 to become 2 o'clock. So this would be 35 minutes. Okay, so we have 35 minutes to get to 2 o'clock. Now, when it's 2 o'clock, to get from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, that's another 2 hours. Okay, so we're now at 4 o'clock, and then it goes from 4 to 4:20, so this is another 20 minutes. Okay, so what I do is I work to the nearest hour. Okay, so I find out how close I am to the nearest hour and then progress from there because I find it easier and it just seems so simple. So I add the minutes together first, so 35 minutes plus 20 minutes is 55 minutes plus the 2 hours, so this would be 2 hours and 55 minutes. Okay, now for example, if this had been 45 minutes and 20 minutes, that would have given me 65 minutes. Now I know there's 60 minutes in an hour, so that will be an hour and 5 minutes. So I take my minutes, break them up into hours and minutes, and then add the hours together. Okay, I hope that's as simple, or it comes across as simple as I believe that it actually is. Okay, now the second question, and this is the one really that I want to concentrate on, is a couple drive to their friend's house and it takes them 3 hours and 20 minutes. How long does half the journey take? So this would be 3 hours and 20 minutes divided by 2. The danger here is when people write 3 hours and 20 minutes, okay, they will write this 3 hours and 20 divided by 2. Now this is wrong. Okay, what we actually have is 3 hours and 20 minutes divided by 2. Okay, 3.2 is not, or 3.20 is not 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, if you think about it logically, if you have 2.5 hours. Okay, that's the same as 2.5 hours. Now we know this is true. This is 2 hours and 0.5 is half an hour. But this can be misinterpreted as 2 hours and 50 minutes. Okay, now I'm sure that you probably don't make this mistake, but some people do. So working in time, I would advise you not to use a calculator, because the calculator works in what we call base 10. Okay, because we count 1 to 10 and then tens to hundreds, hundreds of thousands. Time is done in 60s. Okay, and the calculator does not understand that. Okay, it's not programmed for that. So we have to be very careful. So 3 hours and 20 minutes, what I do is I find either half of the 3 hours and half of the 10 minutes and divide by 2, or I convert it all to minutes. Okay, so 3 hours, now there's 60 minutes in an hour, so 3 hours would be 3 60s, so that will be 180 plus the 20 minutes. Okay, so now we have 180 plus 20 is 200 minutes, and we're going to divide that by 2. So 200 minutes divided by 2 gives me 100 minutes. So now this is half the journey time. Now I know there's 60 minutes in an hour, and 60 will only go into 100 once, so we get 1 hour, and 60 from 100 gives us 40 minutes. Okay, so that will give us our answer. Now you can do it the other way, which is half of 3 hours, or half of 3 hours will be 1.5 hours, okay, or 1 hour 30 minutes, plus, because don't forget we got this of 20 minutes, half of 20 minutes is 10 minutes, so we have 10 minutes. So 1 hour 30 minutes plus 10 minutes would again give us 1 hour 40 minutes. Okay, so you can use either method. Both are very, very easy to do. If you change everything to minutes, particularly if you're using a calculator. Now I'm not saying don't use a calculator for everything being in minutes, okay, but it's, if I actually do this so you can see here, okay, now if I have 100 minutes, okay, so I have 100, okay, now I divide that by 60 because we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour. If I divide that by 60, can you see I get this 1.6666666, an infinite number. So that can't possibly be 1 hour and 66 odd minutes. So this is why I think it's quite dangerous to use a calculator. I would definitely do it longhand. Okay, longhand, I mean actually write it out. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope I've not insulted anybody by doing this, but I just wanted to make this point that when you're dealing with time, it's better to work it out longhand, and be very careful if you use a calculator that what the calculated answer will be needs to be interpreted. So if it gives you 1.5 hours, it's not 1 hour 50 minutes, it's 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, so this again is just practice.